Brian, Reverend Bill McGill stood up in front of a podium today to recite the famous words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Although he didn't have an audience, he says it still sent chills down his spine. 57 years ago,
I have a dream today.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. led the March on Washington.
I have a dream that one day this nation.
And here in Fort Wayne, Reverend Bill McGill, who met MLK himself when he was just 10 years old.
With the heat of oppression.
He now stands on the stage of the Embassy Theater to recite his famous I Have a Dream speech.
57 years ago today, he stood. A throng of 250,000 people heard him declare for all of antiquity, I have a dream.
The event was live streamed on the Embassy Theater website and included a full history of MLK's life and performances by Heartland Sings. McGill says we are in a resurgence of the same movement MLK fought for.
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
After historic protests erupted in downtown Fort Wayne earlier this summer, these protesters say they decided to march on Washington themselves.
I don't want just people to hear it and cheer it. I want them to steer it into their daily activities so that, again, Dr. King's dream becomes a reality.
We must rise to the majestic heights.
Long for the day when America won't have to be reminded of his words, but we're living together in these loving, harmonious chords.
McGill says while there has been change since the day MLK gave his speech, there's still more to come.
We still have a long way to go, and further than we should have to go 57 years later.
McGill says he recites the speech every year, the very speech that inspired him to pursue a life behind the pulpit.
Carly, thank you. And other news.